Where are all my Doug fans? Come on now. You're my age, you like Doug. If you could watch it. I remember when we finally got cable, Doug being one of the things that I was really excited to be able to watch. You know, they didn't make cartoons like that. They didn't make cartoons for teenagers. So it was cool. So, man, I got a lot going on today where I want to talk about things. First thing I want to talk about is Uri Solomon. Uri Solomon. So February 26th. Let's look up Newsweek. Okay. Who is Uri Solomon? Man arrested in illegal biolab probe. So you guys want to hear the actual news version of the story? You can hear what they had to say about it. What the fuck?
Why not?
Sure got a lot of ads I get to sit through.
Can I? To yes, I can.
Yeah,
From if to when.
Crazy that I need to. Okay, so
130 years, Strayer University has been innovating our approach to higher education. So students
I need a commercial about a school, Strayer University. Gotcha. Snuggy, what's going on, man? Snuggy J. According to the report, thousands of violence. Okay, wait, I gotta rewind this. It said the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has said it strongly disputes criticism of the federal agency contained in a major report in the House committee concerning an alleged secret biolab in Reedley, California. According to the report, thousands of vials of potentially dangerous unknown substances, including some labeled Ebola and HIV, were uncovered. I knew all right, so this is going too fast. How are you first? Because you're awesome. That's how. I mean, you beat out Coach PEDO, that's for sure. All right, so this is one of these stories where you're like, hey, why isn't anybody really talking about this? What's up, Green Vibes? Good to see you. If you guys are watching, don't forget to like, share, and sub. Man, that has to be one of the earliest I've ever said that. But all right, a man charged in an investigation into an alleged biolab operation in Las Vegas has also been accused of illegally keeping firearms in his home, according to multiple reports citing a federal complaint. Just the fact that you know, HIV is manufactured, and it's like so many other things that you look into where you're gonna realize like HIV is one of the newer ones. A lot of the you know, I meant to look up lupus the other day, but you'll see that most of the neurological disorders and whatnot, they'll say that were identified at these times. But the fact that nobody was ever talking about people with those symptoms before that is really telling. So Uri Solomon, ORI, the property manager of the location where the alleged laboratory was discovered, faces state charges for allegedly disposing and discharging hazardous waste. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, LVMPD, said in a press conference on Monday. According to a criminal complaint reviewed by Newsweek, he is also accused of illegally keeping firearms, including a Glock handgun, after a federal search warrant was issued for his residence on February 2nd. Look at this guy. This guy dyes his fucking eyebrows. Obviously, he's got nefarious intentions if he's dyeing his eyebrows, right? And look at these, you know, like it's of course it's a friar, right? Of course it's a friar. He looks like the coach. Yeah, probably related. I mean, these are all friars, man. These friars are all just the worst of the worst people. So you have to understand what we're dealing with here. The FBI and LVMPD carried out a search warrant on the house in Sugar Springs Drive between Saturday and Monday when they found potentially hazardous substances stored in a locked garage. Solomon is one of two suspects charged in the case. The other, who is the owner of the residence on Sugar Springs Drive, is already in federal custody on charges related to an investigation of a biolab in Reed, California in 2023. According to ABC News, the owner, a Chinese national, pleaded not guilty. Oh, we've got a Chinese guy put in the position. So they hide it by giving it Chinese ownership? Officials say the items found in California home were possibly associated with a range of infectious diseases, including hepatitis, COVID, HIV, and malaria. LVMPD Sheriff Kevin McMahill said during the press conference that the items discovered in the Las Vegas investigation are, quote, consistent in appearance with ones recovered in California, although not yet determined if they are the same. So the same Chinese national owns both homes. Both homes are found to have a biolab in them, but we're not going to rush to judge that there's a connection. Oh, look, it's the fucking pedophile rabbi. Like, I hate to even stop what I'm talking about, but understand, the guy that identifies himself as a rabbi has called child rape, the rape of a 3-year and 1-day-old child, an act of God. He supports these type of things. He supports the rape of children. It's, way to make yourself, famous. Way to make yourself the person who everybody, should focus on. But this guy flat out said it. When I asked him, he was bragging about how proud he was to be a piece of shit friar, and I said, well, what about the whole Talmud? And he was talking about, ask me anything. I'll answer anything. First, I asked him about metzitzia, and he said it's a layered topic. But then, when asked about the Talmud saying that Goyim are allowed to, or if a Goyim rapes a child, they should be killed. But if one of them rape a child, as long as they're 3 years and 1 day old, the raper is now responsible to pay the victim's family, the quote full dowry. And then essentially the child belongs to their rapist. And I asked him, what do you think about that? And he said, it's not rape. It's an act of God. That was what this fucker said, flat out. He said it. Now he'll try to backtrack and blah, blah, blah. Right. Are you redacting your statements, Rabbi? Right. Rabbi piece of shit, right? And he's just another, he's nothing special. They all look the same for a reason. They all are the same. They're all the same dumbass, inbred, fucking, disgusting character. Doesn't matter what they say. So then yesterday, we have another page of a guy who identifies as a rabbi. And this page was made specifically to come on this feed. It was made, minutes. You can tell when somebody subscribes, right? And he, when it pointed out, said, hey, look at what your other dumbass rabbi said. He didn't chastise him for saying such horrible things. The first thing he said was, you're not a smart man, because he was telling Goyim things that we're not supposed to know. He was confirming things that we're not supposed to know. That's what he meant by calling him stupid. But he wasn't condemning him for what he said. Right? It's understand that I've been telling you guys the same thing for a long time. And just like with Epstein and just like with, everything that's going on today. Like my wife got mad at me yesterday. Well, she was like, you have to stop being so resentful of everybody that you basically tried to wake up to all this shit back when we could actually do something about it years ago. And now they're all like acting as though like they've discovered something. And it's a weird thing, right? Morning, Matt. Which he's right. I absolutely do need, and I've always preached that. I've always said, it's one of the hardest parts of this is that when the people that you tried to turn on to this stuff figure it out, you'll be the first person that they come to. Thaddeus is a great example of it. Every time Thaddeus, figures something out, he comes running to me. And then when I'm like, all right, well, you see it now? He's like, no, you're still wrong about all these other things. I'm like, all right, dude. Don't forget to like, share, and sub, everyone, says Matt. Matt is correct. You absolutely need more rabbis in this chat. You absolutely do. I suggest everybody shares this, especially if you know any rabbis you can share the chat with. Because they maybe we can have more of them come in and foolishly acknowledge everything I'm saying. It's hard to reconcile, but they are deeply mistaken. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you remember all the things that they said to you. And you remember how much you cared about them. And you were like, look, I care about you. I want the best for you. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save all of us. And you were horrible to me. And what I said to my wife was, it's a lot easier when those same people just acknowledge what they said. Just acknowledge it and be like, hey, I did come at you wrong for all those years. I'm sorry. That's all it literally takes. He says, we're good people. We're good people what? Understand, this guy, again, this guy said raping children is not child rape. It's an act of God. When it comes to metzitzia, when it comes to the bottom of darkness, when it comes to the ritual sacrifice, the ritual sexual abuse that is everywhere in Israel all the time and always has been, it's actually part of their cult design. You just don't know about it. See, that's the thing. So many of you are so arrogant, and you think that because you don't know about it, it must not be true. Like you just happen to know everything. And I love when people say, I'm some arrogant prick and I think I know everything. No, I don't think I know everything. I think when it comes to this whole, especially the Israel stuff, but this whole truther thing, I think I'm the best. I've been doing it for a lot longer than everybody else. I've been saying the things that actually came true, unlike most people. Do I think I'm the best accountant in the world? No. Do I think I'm the best bioscientist in the world? No. Do I think I'm the best basket maker in the world? No. Chef in the world? No. Like, there's lots of things I'm not the best at. But when it comes to this, I don't even think it's close. I don't think anything's even close. All right, so let's finish this. Who is Ori Solomon? Right? Solomon is the property manager for 2 properties on Sugar Springs Drive and Temple View Drive. He was booked into the Clark County Detention Center for allegedly disposing and discharging hazardous waste, according to the LVMPD press release. A criminal complaint said Solomon, who holds French and Israeli passports and is in the U.S. on a non-immigrant visa, is barred from possessing firearms. Well, but Israelis, I mean, this is weird because there's the whole visa waiver program that the Israelis are a part of, right? Yeah, my existence alone. Okay. Rabbi, please tell me if you're truly religious or Jewish, how God is real. How can he be real? In the books, it says God no longer talks to you, so don't tell me he talks to your creator. I mean, they're just so stupid. It's all just fake bullshit. According to the court documents, LVMPD officials discovered two 9mm bullets, a black Glock semi-automatic pistol, and a small lockbox while executing a state search warrant at his home in January 31st. In his home on January 31st. However, the firearms were left in the residence because the warrant did not authorize seizure. What? See, this is the kind of shit that only seems to apply to them, right? Right? It just doesn't. You don't hear about that with other people. You don't hear about that they found something, like a gun, an illegal firearm on somebody, but because the search warrant didn't cover it, they didn't take it. Like, where the fuck is that story from? Why would that be a fucking real thing? By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub, help out. Because you guys help out when you like, share, and sub. Let's see. God damn it. Page shut down. A criminal complaint said Solomon we did this. The complaint says Solomon asked, "Is there any guns left?" during a phone call from custody at the Clark County Detention Center. A federal search warrant was issued and law enforcement seized numerous firearms, ammunition, and firearm accessories, the complaint said. He is expected to appear in court on Friday. I thought he was sent home. In a polarized era, the center is... Okay, so that was the end of it. That's bullshit. He got sent to Israel. He got sent back to Israel. Here you go. Well, this is on X, so I probably won't be able to see it. Belch. Ori Solomon, an Israeli property manager, has been released pending trial after federal authorities charged him in connection with a illegal biolab in Las Vegas rental property. He is required to surrender his passport, remain in the United States, and was prohibited from possessing weapons. Authorities confiscated suspected biological materials and laboratory equipment from the property. Investigations are ongoing. KTNV. Let's see, is this just another copy and paste? Biolab release. Solomon appeared in federal court on Friday afternoon and was released on his own recognizances with certain conditions. He has to surrender his passport, is not allowed to leave the country, and must notify the courts if he plans to leave Clark County, and must not possess a firearm or any other weapon. Friday's hearing focused on federal firearm charge against Solomon, an Israeli citizen in the United States on a non-immigrant visa. Solomon is not allowed to possess firearms. Prosecutors say multiple guns were seized from his home, according to an affidavit obtained by Channel 13. Solomon faces a criminal charge in Clark County for improper disposal of hazardous waste. Why isn't this guy locked up? Like, does it even make sense? It's fucking stupid, right? Right? This is it's so irritating how obvious this all is. He was arrested on Saturday after local and federal investigators discovered what had been called an illegal biolab inside his home. He managed near Washington Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard. Washington and Hollywood. Investigators have recovered suspected biological materials and lab equipment. At this point, authorities tell us testing on those materials is still underway. It's not clear exactly what was found. Documents obtained by Channel 13 amid this ongoing investigation shed more light on who Solomon is. Investigators say they were tipped off by someone who worked at the home on Sugar Springs Drive. Days later, police identified Solomon as the property manager. We have no knowledge that he had any expertise in that area, or he's somewhat of a trained biologist. No, said Chris Del Zotto, special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas field office. Authorities say Solomon works for a Chinese citizen named Ji Shu, who goes by the alias David He. Property records identified Zhu as the owner of the home. He is jailed in California. You know what's funny? Again, this just popped in my head as I'm doing this, but do you guys understand that the woman the medical examiner who signed off on Kobe Bryant's death certificate doesn't fucking exist. Do you guys get how crazy this is? That's the only thing you can find on her. Everything else are weird PDFs that you can download, but who knows what the fuck you're downloading. Why didn't Kobe Bryant have like the best medical examiner in his situation? And what did they even use? Because there was no bodies. There were no bodies anywhere. You know that because there was a mountain bike team that apparently was unplanned for and showed up seconds after the crash, and there's no bodies anywhere. Barely even looks like there was a crash. Right? It looks like it was a scene and then something was lit on fire, but it doesn't look like it was a crash. Look, the rabbi character on here has admitted to being a fucking pedophile. Has admitted to being a fan of child rape. So, you guys take anything he says with that in mind, right? Understand that that's who's saying it. It's the fact he's calling it a bomb shows you that he's not legit. He's not legit. He's probably an Israeli bot, even though I don't tend to think so. Yeah, any way you slice it, it's not like, it's not like this makes the Friars look better in any fucking way, shape, or form. They're horrible. They're just horrible, awful people. Let's see. In a warehouse linked to zoo, investigators found pathogens, including samples of COVID and other diseases, as well as hundreds of transgenic mice and boxes of adulterated and misbranded medical tests, which zoo is accused of illegally selling. What the fuck is this? The brain cells of these people driving by the heart. Oh yeah, well, can you imagine? It's like almost like a crisis mode, right? Like, Goyim aren't supposed to be me. And then if somebody does happen to speak out, well, they have their standard list of things. They bring the Bible into it. We're God's chosen people. And as soon as you're like, that's bullshit. I don't want to hear that. Then they go, oh, well, that's anti-Semitism. Then you go, yeah. No, I know it is. I'm proud of it. I am very much opposed to your supremacy. I'm very much anti-supremacy. Now they're left with the you're crazy narrative, but that doesn't work when you're spitting out obvious facts. You're reading the facts. And so it's like this meltdown, this crisis sort of happens where they're arrogant and they're not used to being in this position. They're used to these weaponized words, these weaponized phrases, shutting down shit and putting them in control of the situation. So when you get somebody who none of that shit works on, but they still have that arrogance, they still feel like we should be, subservient. We should be bowing down to them. Like, it works out really well for me because, their inbred stupidity just makes them keep talking and makes them, keep proving my point. Look. Be Jewish and heaven shall be the world around you. Yep, hope so. I hope it works out for you. Which is weird because you would think, if you were so good, why would everyone hate you? If you were so good, why would you need to go to such great lengths to try to, deceive people and then need such protection, right? You without the United States Big Brother aspect of things, Israel would have been wiped out a long fucking time ago. Without the United States, without stealing from the Goyim as the Bible tells them to, Israel just wouldn't exist. And you see that, you see this, you've seen it a lot lately where, this is just one of their things that they do where they say that, oh, Israel is doing everything it can to get off the United States tit, and they're going to be a completely independent nation, and yada yada yada. Oh, by the way, we just signed instead of the 10-year memorandum of understanding that it normally is, now it's a 20-year memorandum of understanding. But we're trying to get off the American tit. We swear. And when you have to ask yourself, like, how can one clearly inferior, like utterly disgusting group of people think of themselves in the light that they do? Like, how could they possibly think, now we have an Allah support? We have a Muslim here. Dumb ass Muslims, man. You guys are fucking dumb. Pushing those Abrahamic religions. Narrative where, like, how could you possibly think that, like, you just deserve, like, we don't deserve to keep on, we have to pay for your existence? How do you think that way? And that's where the bottom of darkness comes in. Because when you understand that these people have paid the price, they have paid a very, very steep price for the life that they live, for the privilege that they get, for the Semitism that they demand. It's pretty fucked up, right? They've paid a steep price. Hey, what about Abraham? I love the whole Abraham concept, because Abram was married to Sarai, or Sarah. Who was his wife there, Rabbi? Tell us about the parents of the Jewish people. The father and mother of the Jewish people. What's a really significant detail about them? Let's see if you're going to, be man enough, LOL. If you're going to be man enough to actually acknowledge the truth in this one. All right, how you doing? Can you go get me another cream? This one's all clumpy. It doesn't smell bad. I know. Whatever, man.
Setting Mary's package up there.
Mary's not here. Mary's never here in the mornings. She's a lazy, lazy ass. It's not like she has anything else going on in her world that she could be focused on. She should be here. Huh? Who's a jiggle what? What?
Door of the fridge.
It's Abram. Didn't you read your book? It's Abraham and Sarai. No, it would be Abram and Sarai, and Abraham and Sarah. Because remember, because you know your shit, right? Abraham and Sarah. They were Abraham and Sarai. But God changed their names when he told them that as 90-year-old elderly people, they would have a child called Ishmael. Call me Ishmael. I'll ask you the same question. How do you know God is? I mean, that's the same thing I've been asking people for quite some time now. How do you know your shit's real? How do you know Christianity's real and Islam's not? What proof do you have? What is your reasoning outside of arrogance, outside of like Fucking, it's amazing. It's insecure, ignorant arrogance. What a weird thing, right? Insecure, ignorant arrogance. Those things don't seem like they should go together. But that's literally what, like, that's the foundation of every religious person's beliefs. It's insecurity, it's ignorance, and it's arrogance. You're delusional, take you're delusional, take your meds before you have a mouth. See what I mean? It's all they can do. This guy obviously isn't a real rabbi, or else he would engage. Like, you give him the opportunity to spit out his poison, he's going to. But he just showed you that he doesn't know any of it. He's not real. And again, what am I delusional about? All I know is energy never dies. It simply... You don't know that. That's just another thing you've been told. But let's get back to Abraham and Sarah, or Abram and Sarai. Can anybody tell me the real fucked up coincidence there? Oh, look. Pedo Junkie is here. Did you spend a couple of nights in jail, Pedo Junkie? Did you get busted at the crack house? Pedo Junkie hasn't been here for like 4 or 5 days. I think he must have spent a couple of nights in the drunk tank. Oh, look at this. God has shown me he's real throughout my life. Oh, yeah, sure, okay. Explain why Trump's not dead, because it's fake. Explain why taking my stepdad to Chimyo and praying over him healed his COPD. Oh, yeah? So you're one of these extremely arrogant people who thinks that they can make God do things, right? And the funny thing is, they're always only praying for the most selfish possible things. They're not praying. I mean, obviously, God listens and then heals COPD, because we have to believe, your dumbass, that you're telling the truth. You're a Trump supporter. You are a pedophile who supports another pedophile. And we're supposed to take what you say seriously? We're not supposed to think you're lying? Like, it's just amazing that again, the arrogance, the flat, outright arrogance it takes to be such a standard, typical Christian Trump, white, all those things. They're just trash. Look at this shit. This dumbass doesn't, the rabbi just can't, like, again, you would think he would just engage. You would think he would be telling us what's wrong. So are you denying that Abraham and Sarai are brother and sister? Blood brother and sister, same parents? According to your incestual pedophilia narrative, you're going to leave that one out? If you're watching, by the way, don't forget to like, share, and sub. Shit helps out. That's what they say. We're trying here. If you know anybody else saying things better than I am, fucking hey, promote them. But really do think about what you're seeing, right? They are Roller and Singer. Can't even fucking type. We are all brother and sister. Now he's trying to, like, compensate. Again, it's like every time you bring stuff up, even the bottom of darkness is like, oh yeah, this happens all over the world. It's not just in Israel that there are, ritualistic sacrifices that only have to do with Jewish ritual. That happens all over the world, not just in Israel. Right. They are doing the same thing all over the world. No doubt about it. Here he goes again. He's saying it's an act of God. An act of God. You don't upset me. Don't worry. You never can. You never will. Only thing that would upset me is if, you admitted that after all this time you're actually a pedo. And I'd be like, what the fuck? But, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore. Look at this shit. You accept my answer? Yeah, we're all related. We're not all related. It's not even like it's a cute thing to say because we're all people. But at the same time, you're talking about a Jew who literally lives off the genocide of other people, of his brothers and sisters. His entire existence extends from genocide. And then the raping of his younger brothers and sisters, apparently. But no, we're not all direct blood brother and sisters like Abraham and Sarai. And you see the cowardice of the average friar in that he's trying to like dilute the thing and say, oh, we're all brothers and sisters and bullshit. They had the same fucking parents, brother and sisters. Right? And what happens when blood brother and sister start having babies? You guys ever seen the Whitakers? Soft white underbelly? Any soft white underbelly fans here? What kind of proof? What are you even talking about? I don't even... I love when people don't understand that they're in a comment section. So whatever they randomly comment on doesn't mean I know what the fuck you're talking about. But think about this, man. Think about what you're being shown here. You know, brother and sister, the Whitakers. Basically, think about that. According to Jewish tradition, they're the Whitakers. They're the long descendants of the Whitakers. Holy shit, that's awesome. That's fucking amazing. I just, wow. I know my religion better than you know yourself. It doesn't seem like it. You seem to be the biggest coward here. You keep avoiding the truth in your cult. And don't forget, it's your cult. It's not a religion. It's a cult. And sure, all religions are cults. But yours is definitely a bloodthirsty, bloodletting, blood libel, pedophile cult. Without a shadow of a doubt. Right? You're a disgusting, horrible cult. And when asked about the simplest things, dude who knows his religion better than I know myself, you sure seem to fall short. Which I guess that's sort of your MO, isn't it? Right? It's sort of how you measure up. Coming up short. 15 views, 13 likes. Totally makes sense, right, guys? Right, guys? Guess you just got lucky, huh? You got somebody that isn't scared to say these fucking piece of shit friars control the world and want us all to suffer. They don't necessarily want us all to die. That's a common misconception. Because if we all die, who's going to do the work? You know, who's going to service them? Who's going to cook their fries? Who's going to fix their car? They're not going to fucking do it. Right? They don't do it. So who do you think they need to do it? We need to be here to do it. That's why the biggest religion in the world, apparently, Christianity, I always thought it was Islam, but apparently it's Christianity, doesn't even believe, like, you're a Christian and you don't think Christians are Christian God's favorite chosen people. That's how fucking brainwashed you are. Right? Like to think that the bad guys in your Bible, because Satan only makes, sporadic appearances in the Bible. He's not the main bad guy by far. Abraham is actually the main big bad. And then it's the children of Abraham that are, the main antagonists in the Bible. That's who ends up killing Jesus. Christian God's only son, your fucking savior, superhero, blah, 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 Jewish Jesus. And you believe that those people that did that, the bad guys, the Jesus killers, they hate you. They think Mary is boiling in a cauldron of semen in hell, whatever, or at least their version of hell. Like you think those people, the biggest religion in the world, thinks a completely different religion, a different cult that hates them, is their God's chosen people. Like that is, if you don't see that right off that's the first thing you need to see. I don't have to dig deep to figure out that the Bible is just a bunch of Jewish fairy tales, right? That's literally all it is. All of the main characters in the Bible are Jewish. All of the narratives are silly. That's why they talk like they're fucking stupid, right? I mean, think about it. Think about this narrative of the Jewish people, right? They get enslaved by Egypt, of which Egypt has no records of. They get enslaved. Yahweh, appears as this column of fire and blah, blah. Yahweh is the biggest asshole God to ever exist. Yahweh, why anybody would ever want to worship Yahweh is just beyond me. It's such a childish, oh, you think it's, well, you're going to get a plague. I don't like that you said that. But after some wheeling and dealing, they finally escape Egypt. And the narrative is it's just literally fairy tale, the extreme version of a fairy tale from the fucking beginning, right? The idea that Moses parted the Red Sea and the Jews, remember, it's between 2 and 3 million Jews. I don't think anybody ever thinks of it that way. It could be more. But the narrative is that it's 600,000 men and their families. So, you at least have the wives, takes it to 1 million, at least 1 or 2 children each. Who knows how many it actually works out to be. But that's the narrative. Is that suddenly, imagine 3 million people walking from one place to another just in a group. Sort of in a hurry because they're being chased by the bad guys. Now, they have to walk across the seafloor, which I would imagine is it's pretty tough walking. Right? It's a pretty tough walk. They get to the other side, and then of course God, who loves all his children, crashes why anybody would even do that? Why you see that they're crossing through this magical opening and you think, oh, well, that's going to work out. But then these same Jews end up wandering around the desert for 40 years. For 40 years. When people started asking, well, what the fuck did they eat? How do you survive in the desert? We eat and drink. plus all your livestock and everything else that survived that you supposedly had with you. I mean, horses, they drink quite a bit every day, so seems kind of strange that this narrative would be so far-fetched. And after 40 years, they finally wandered their ass out. And now Moses goes up on Mount Sinai, and he's gone for like 30 days, 40 days, 30, 40 days, something like that. And by the time he comes down, the people have now adopted an entirely new religion. They've crafted and manufactured a great giant golden cow out of what? Like, supposedly Moses' brother had all of them donate all of their gold, their necklaces and earrings and whatever gold they had. And with that, those that donated gold, because, you know, metallurgy's easy back then, he builds a giant cow mold, pours the gold into the mold. It rhymes, so it's true. And they've created an entirely different belief structure based on said golden cow, golden calf. And all of this is done within 40 days, 30 or 40 days. I think it's 40 days. I think my brain doesn't want to say they wandered for 40 years and he went up for 40 days. That would be too obvious. So I'm thinking it's 30 days, but I think it's actually 40 days. Their belief, the whole Judaism belief, was so unimportant to them that Moses was gone for 40 days and that was enough. They were like, fuck this. And then, of course, Moses comes down with the tablets, but he gets so mad he smashes them. How dare you worship a golden calf? I've only been gone 40 fucking days. What's wrong with you? Smash. Look, we have people flying the pedophile flag here. Anybody flying the pedo flag, you know who that is. The Jewish community goes through so much hate for what? Because of our beliefs. Well, I mean, because your beliefs in you being supreme, all of us are inferior, and that child rape is an okay thing. Yeah, that's the beliefs that people hate. It has nothing to do with silly Jesus. Right? That's fucking stupid. But it's the child rape and the genocide that people hate about you so much. Weird how you guys never want to actually acknowledge that though, huh? Isn't that weird? Notice how I just gave you the Exodus story and none of them are denying it. They're trying to change the subject. They're trying to get us to talk about something else because the Exodus story is so fucking stupid, while at the same time being essential to Judaism. It's essential. It's one of them. Without Exodus, you can't have Judaism. But not one self-respecting scholar or historian or anything like that says, yeah, Exodus is true. That's exactly what happened. None of them, because it's just impossibly stupid. And if you're watching, again, don't forget to like, share, and sub. Help out. People need to know this shit. People need to know who's ruining our fucking lives. Laughing about it, enjoying it. Judaism and Christianity are the same. No, they're not. No. They're based in similar shit. They come from the same thing. You know, Christianity comes out of Second Temple Judaism, no doubt. But Christianity is the slave religion. It's the one with all the bells and whistles and the promises. If you just follow the rules that the friars lay forth while you're alive, Then when you die, oh man, that's when the real party starts. Good to be back. Glad you're back. You're Y-O-U-R, the devil they spoke about. Y-O-U-R, the devil they spoke about. See what I mean? They're just fucking inbred morons, man. Now Islam, Muslim came with truth. I hope you don't make your same sin and wrist the message. Islam is dumb as shit. It's one of 3 Abrahamic religions. That should tell you everything you need. Islam isn't its own thing. It's one of the Abrahamic religions. Abraham, again, being the father of the Jewish people. I am Jesus reborn. Guy, son of Guy, born on Christmas. Both parents born same day, same year. The summer solstice, the cusp between Gemini and Cancer. So each one of them is 3 astrological signs, meaning 6 astrological signs came together to make Guy, the son of Guy, born on Christmas, to Mary, Mother Mary, whose parents were Joseph and Margaret Magdalena. Yep. Good old me with my bronzy feet and my woolly hair. Yep. Remake. Mix. Yeah, right. So stupid. So stupid. But I would love for any religious person to prove that God doesn't absolutely hate religion and everything that's been done in its name, and is using me to bring it down. It's such a powerful enemy, and God doesn't interfere. So God is who is speaking through me, writing all the songs and doing everything I'm doing. How do you know that's not the case? How can you prove that's not the case? Why don't you ever talk about the Epstein files? Because everybody else does. Why do you need me to? I'd rather talk about the Franklin cover-up and how the Franklin cover-up, the Epstein files of 89, 90, is why we went to war, why the Gulf War happened. How many Desert Storm people, how many, Gulf War veterans or families who lost somebody or had somebody fucked up or, came home and whenever they came, it felt like razor blades and shit. How many of those people want to know why that happened to them? Because I can tell you, it was to cover up for the Franklin pedophile network that went all the way up to the president. Oh, we have priest Wilton here to convert anybody who denies God into the loving embrace. Oh, yeah? 6 years, 31 subscribers. You're a black man, it looks like. Are you a black man who believes in Christianity? That is so disgusting. How dare you, man? How dare you? Why don't you talk about Palestine killing poor Jewish children? When? When are you talking about? When has that ever happened? A black man who believes in Christianity and it pushes boy, so all of the slaves, since you believe the narrative, all of the slaves that had to be whipped and beaten and killed, who refused to believe that bullshit, fuck all them, right? And let me ask you, priest, how do you know that your shit's the right one? What proof do you have? How do you know that Islam isn't correct? What proof do you have that God is anything even slightly real? Jesus was a black man himself, my brother in Christ. No. Jesus was a Jew. If anything, he was a Palestinian Arabic guy Like, that's the region he came from. If that story was true, which it's not. It's dumb. But this is how they have to do it. God blessed our community with the knowledge of... See, again, you see this? See how the Christian won't actually engage? He'll just start saying dumb shit because he can't. He has to. You know? This is a man who consistently turns a blind eye to pedophilia within the organization he belongs to. He's not leading the charge against the pedophilia. We don't all know who Priest Wilton is, the guy who's out there fighting for the children. Nobody's ever heard of this piece of shit. What proof do you have of God, dumbass? He's got you there. Jesus loves you always. See what I mean? Can you imagine? He looks like he's old, too. He's an old black man who's probably experienced some really horrific racism and all kinds of shit his whole life. And yet when you ask him to elaborate on what he believes in, he goes, I like flowers. I like they smell good. Like it's fucking insane. Of course a black person can be a Jew. Anyone can convert to Judaism. That's how you know it's not a race. You can't convert your race. Right? Well, he's got the typical, 5 years or 6 years? I can't remember. 6 years and 31 subscribers. It's funny, the first rabbi, when he first showed up, his shit said 6 years and 31 subscribers. It got changed afterward. But it's interesting how they do this, right? Right? They're these are the... If this is the best representation religion has, I mean, I'm fucking right. How do you deny how right I am when you see the difficulty these people who identify as religious, superiors, the difficulty they have trying to even make simple conversation? Like, they just fall the fuck apart. They literally have no reasonable argument. This guy just starts saying, well, Jesus loves you. He said he initially started off by being like, hey, I'm here to convert anyone who doesn't believe in God. And then it's like, all right, well, people don't believe in God for reasons. So are you here to address those reasons? I like pickles. Like, it's just stupid. Oh, yeah, no shit. No, yeah, I forgot to turn the shit on. What was I thinking? When I'm not fucking reading. I do want to look up the PEDO too, so that'll work out. So we'll go with, I could do it here. Much easier, actually. Interesting how when I put WW into my kid's phone, Pornhub pops up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. That sucks, but what are you going to do? He's a kid. He's a 15-year-old boy. It's what they do. Oh, look, the Jew has run out of things to say, so now they're like, and they're just flying the pedo flag. Just pedo flag after pedo flag. Pedo flag after pedo flag. And then you have the priest who, when I brought up all the pedophilia in the church, what did he say? Nothing.
Trump is back on TV trial. But where are the Epstein tapes? Oh yeah, Diddy's gone completely wild. But where are the Epstein tapes? Israel's so disgustingly vile. But where are the Epstein tapes? They have you chasing your tail. Meanwhile, where are the friggin' Epstein tapes? ISIS hit Russia in typical style. But where are the Epstein tapes? The boat hit the bridge and fell into a pile. But where are the Epstein tapes? The churches molested another child. But where are the Epstein tapes? They have the Goy in a state of denial. But where are the friggin'
Why you killed Jesus? Jesus doesn't exist, you moron.
Everything's a conspiracy. At least.
But I mean, you know, like, it's just so weird that people still fall for this shit. Like, it really is strange. Especially since, like, those people that believe in this shit, they're the ones who will be like, what's your proof? What's your proof? What's your proof? They always want proof for shit. And even when you provide them proof, they remain skeptical. But when it comes to their Jesus and it comes to their religious insanity, it requires zero proof. They believe it because they simply choose to. And they fall apart anytime somebody even begins to question them. Remember, this priest dumbass came in here talking about how he was ready to convert anyone that didn't believe. And literally hasn't addressed a single thing. He just falls apart. Like, share, and subscribe. Exactly. For those watching, like, share, and subscribe. I agree with you, Snuggie. Look at this shit. Look at how no answer, dummy answer, no questions. What questions are you asking other than flying your pedo flag? You know, anyone who wants to represent the friars, explain to us why metzitzia is okay. Explain to us how that should be accepted. It should continue to be accepted in our society. See, look at this. We've got Jesus loves you and then the pedo flag right next to each other. If that doesn't say everything, right? That shows you just what I'm talking about. It's the same fucking, it's the same monster behind the mask. You know, they're just so pathetic. And they like, it's weird to me. I can't imagine walking around saying, you know, I believe in this, I'm a this. And if somebody asks me why, I'm like, I don't know. Don't you ask me that. I get really upset if somebody asks me questions about my belief structure. You are no better than them. Oh, I am much better than them. I am better than every single Jew on this planet by a mile. Every single one of them. And I'm better than all of you Christians as well. I'm better than all of you Muslims, and I'm better than all of you Christians. Why? Because I don't need, like, my own personal salvation doesn't keep me silent when it comes to the horrendous things going on in this world. And you guys will talk shit about everything but your thing. And when it comes to your thing, you stay silent because you don't want to fuck up your salvation. Because you're a selfish prick. But you sure as hell ain't better than Jesus. No, I'm real, so absolutely I am. I am much better than a Jewish fairy tale. Look at this. You have somebody pretending to be a stereotype. And look at how embarrassing they are. Right? It's just so embarrassing. But look at how they do this. Look at how this shit works. These guys are the worst. We are literally talking about the worst fucking people to ever exist. And we're talking about people who literally, it's part of their cult. It's part of their whole, like, it's a main part of their system to rape their own children, to torture their own children. It's insane.
Since our Uncle Sam's who spams our inbox. Gone are the days when one kid's chickenpox meant the whole block of kids at a party. A real life TikTok where viral was hardly a metaphor smartly. We used to get stronger, yet we now head for a startling.
Have you ever been blessed in holy water, my friend? Yeah, oh, that matters. You know, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, you dumbass Christians, you always cry about the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast. You mean that symbolic symbol that's symbolically on your forehead? You know, the mark of the beast that's either going to be on your hand or your forehead. And all of you put a symbolic cross on your forehead as baby. You put it on babies' heads. You know, the false idol that is the church.
Oh, when they get baptized.
Right. But the whole concept of the church goes so far beyond what the Bible sort of portrays itself as. The incredible opulence, the marble, the granite, the fucking stained glass, the gold, the gold, the gold, the gold. The demand that we worship the Pope. That's false idol bullshit, man. The church is the epitome of what the devil is in the Bible. And apparently, Jesus was really opposed to the religious system. Oh, I'm the devil now. Isn't it funny how as soon as you start talking about the pedophilia in the organization, they start acting like you're the devil? I'm the devil because I want to protect children. Who the fuck is going to say that shit? You know how stupid the concept of the devil is? It's stupid. It's such a fucking dumbass cop-out. And the best part is how much your God was like in love with the devil. Right? Your God allowed the torture of one of his most loyal servants just to impress the devil. It's such a goofy story. And it's one of these things too where, like, I really think most people just don't pay attention. If they've been forced to read the Bible, they read it like just to get through it. They didn't actually read it. Because so many stories in the Bible are just like dumb as fuck. Really make the Bible, the whole narrative, seem really stupid. And the story of Job really tops that pyramid. Like there are top stories for, you know, different things. Like the worst story to me is the Sodom and Gomorrah story, right? The way that's then glorified as the justification for bigotry towards gays is pretty fucking amazing. That story's all about incest and child rape, but let's not talk about that, right? And then you have, like, again, Exodus. Exodus is the dumbest story by far. You know, it's just it's so, and that's saying a lot, right? When you're the dumbest story in the Bible, that's pretty tremendous. But the story of Job is one of those where it's just like, you know, I don't even know, like, what the fuck, how do you read that story and think, man, I sure am glad I'm on the God side of things. God sure does love us. I better worship God so he gives me the Job treatment. The devil is among us, blah, blah, blah. The devil is such a stupid cop-out. No, I didn't do it. The devil did it. Oh, it was the devil, you guys. I don't know. I'm in the middle of talking about this, though, if you don't mind. Right. And he was said to have eyes as black as night and blah. Now here we go in some fairy tales. The first sin of heaven was because proud. Right. You can't be proud. Don't you dare be proud of yourself. Don't you dare question things. Don't you dare call out the incestuous stupidity of the Bible. Oh, I'm gay too, sweetheart. Remember that. That's Jews. Our God is different. Oh, yeah, you have a different God than the Jews do? A priest just told me that. That what I'm talking about is the Jews, that their God is different.
Yeah.
They have a different God.
No, they don't.
No, they do. Jesus did date. Blah, 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 blah. The beast is hissing like the devil. Look at how this coward, right? He's gotten to the point where he's overwhelmed. So I'm saying things that even with his like thick blanket of stupidity, there's a person in there that's like, yeah, you know what? He's making sense. And as soon as I start making sense and he can't override it, he has like the failsafe is like, oh, it's the devil. It's the devil. You see this every fucking time. Every time you prove that you know more about their shit than they do, it just fucks their world up. They just don't know how to handle it. And well, they do. It's the same way. It's an immediate. You're the devil. That's the devil. If you're smart, you're the devil. If you're thinking about things, you're the devil. If you know things, you're the devil. We need good God-fearing sheep who don't ask questions, who don't want to know things, who know their place. Look at this shit. It's just so embarrassing. It's embarrassing because this is your standard Christian. Like this guy is, identifying himself as a priest. Don't you think it's pretty strange that a priest isn't capable of putting up a better fight than this? And that as soon as he runs out of shit to say, he just cowers behind. Oh, you're the devil. You're the devil. How come I can't fly? I can tell you guys this. If I had any sort of magical superpowers, I'd be flying around and shit. Sure wouldn't be poor either. I would imagine being the devil would give me some, financial benefits. Especially since I'm not taking people's last dollar, promising them, oh, if you just sow the seed, just give the church your money, and then you'll get money somehow, some other. We won't tell you how. We don't worry about it. But if you get some money, then we'll claim it for sure. Like if somebody has the generosity to help you out, then we'll be like, see, God works in mysterious ways. You sowed your seed and then you got in that car accident. But that car accident, yeah, it crippled you. But you were able to get a few $1 million. You see how God works? They're just so embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. Yep, Trump derangement syndrome, says a pedophile. If you support a pedophile at this point, it's because you're a pedophile. Pretty simple. Nobody gets that pass, right? At this point, I don't care who you are. If you say you support Trump, I'm going to believe you have some files, some pictures, some shit in your phone. Like, you're probably one of those people that freaks out if somebody grabs your phone. Hey, give me my phone, give me my phone. Because you don't want somebody to accidentally stumble across your fucking pedo shit. Oh, I'm the devil and you're Lilith, apparently.
Lilith?
The priest. Well, I mean, you don't listen very well. So, that's funny how people don't know about that story. People think the whole Adam and Eve story is the start, but People don't know that Lilith is the original first female. But she didn't listen. She didn't do as she was told.
Lilith is a goddess.
So she got kicked out. And they had to restart it. And then the Genesis story. I mean, again, it's like, how do you say which one is dumber? Genesis is as dumb as it gets. You know, God needed a gardener. Pretty safe to say that he probably, for Adam and Eve, were probably Mexican. Now that you think about it. Because he wanted a gardener. The Garden of Eden was super special. And he was like, I need somebody to be here to cut the grass and shit. And so he made Adam. And then they had fun making little animals. And he would be like, all right, Adam, what do you call this one? And Adam would be like, that one is a doggy. And then that's, okay, Adam, you've been doing small ones. Let's make this one a big one. Okay, that one is a hip hop, hoop hop, hip hop, hip hop, hippopotamus. That's a hippopotamus. Oh, that's a good one, Adam. Yeah. So they went around and they made all of the animals, and I would assume all of the bugs. Like, God was like, see that? And Adam was like, no. And God was like, no, look real close. And Adam's like, what? And God's like, you see that little dot right there? And Adam's like, no. He's like, look, it's right there, the little dot. And Adam looks, and he's like, you mean that dot that just bounced off your hand? Where'd it go? Well, I just made that. That's a bug. What do you want to call it? Well, it sure did fled. It sure fled quickly. Fleed. It's a flea. It's a flea. It fled. We had to make fleas too because, you know, that's not, you know, we got to make everything in the Garden of Eden. I'm going to make this one with a really long neck, Adam. What do you call the one with a long neck? Ooh, that one is, it's gigantic. It's a giraffe. It's a giraffe. I call it a giraffe. A giraffe. That's a good one too, Adam. Yay!
I have a question. So I saw
We are doing Genesis right now. Are you serious?
Planet yesterday. It goes with it. Awesome Planet yesterday, and they were going to different beaches and analyzing the sand. So the sand at different beaches, like one beach in Hawaii, the sand is all made up of miniature little fish bones and sea creature.
Marv said he was at a beach where the whole sand is made up of crushed quartz, and no matter how hot it is, the sand is cool.
So, did God make each of those beaches different and say, this one we're going to use a whole bunch of fish and turtle and shark pieces, and that's going to be the soft stuff they walk on?
Yes.
And this one's going to be pieces of rock, just really tiny.
Yes.
And this one's
Yeah, you know, that's what he did. God did that.
we're going to take the volcanic lava and harden it and crush it up, and this one's going to be black. Hell yeah, we're going to have a black beach.
God made, like, he had his cocaine on his table one day, and it knocked it over, and that's how we got the white sand beaches of Florida. That's God
What about
coke.
the pink sand?
Yeah, that's the real. Whew.
Oh,
And then there's that, like, the sand up in a specific spot of Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Very specific spot of Lake Michigan where it sings. Where if you walk on it, it makes noise, and you can rub it together, and it's like wah 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 wah. Yeah, God was like, boom 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 boom. Every finger touches is gonna be something different. I don't even care. But no, so God makes all of the animals, and obviously he makes male and female, and they gotta fuck to make other animals. And Adam's like, hey God. God was like, fuck. Yeah, what is it, Adam? What can I get for you? Well, so I was noticing that everyone else
I want one
has
too.
something to put this thing into, and this thing is always just like. "Argh!" It's weird too. If I rub it a bunch, it spits at me. You're not supposed to do that. That's a sin. Oh, okay, shit. All right, well, I won't do that anymore. Okay, but I mean, seriously, like it's getting hard to walk. Shit's weird. And you have to remember the entire time Adam is doing anything, he is scratching his ass. He's he's just scratching his ass the whole time. Why? Because he's butt naked. And I don't know if you've ever been camping, but it's buggy. There are bugs. And if you were naked out in the middle of life in the Garden of Eden, the flies would be all over your butthole because it's not like you have Charmin Ultra. You're using leaves anyway. If you're even wiping, because I mean, I would imagine Adam would just be like, boom, and just keep going, while he's mowing the lawn with his God lawnmower, right? Right on, Snow. You have a great day, man. I didn't see if you were commenting. Your comments keep getting buried. Yeah, I don't see anything from you. I see these dumb priests and whatnot, but that's about it. You've never Lilith? You've never heard of the Lilith Fair? Man, you're fucking low level here. Come on now, Goy. Get smarter than that. So God's like, so you don't remember Lilith at all, right? And Adam's like, who? And God's like, all right, cool. All right, fine, fuck it, go to sleep. And instead of making Lilith from the ground, or instead of making the woman from the ground like he did with Lilith, and then she wasn't subservient, he pulled the rib from Adam, which made her more likely to be, she was a part of him, so, which means their children should have been fucking retarded, right? Remember, they have belly buttons in all of the depictions. It was just something I wanted you to take on. Which thing? Too far to scroll now? No, it's not. Nothing's too far. Let's see. You did the music. And then you said music comments. And then... No, I didn't even see it, dude. Normally, if you were to comment, I would see it and I would read. So it just never even came through. But so God makes Eve and, fill them in, hey, you're the gardeners here. You can do anything. Just don't eat from this one tree that I put in the middle of the garden that for what reason would you put it in the garden? It was to test him. Why? I don't leave a fucking loaded firearm on the kitchen counter and be like, all right, kids, don't touch it. I'm going upstairs. Right? Is that what you do? Like, why would you do that? Hey, kids, why don't you have a party? All the parents drop the kids off. Nobody, don't even worry about it. And I'm going to leave knives and guns all over the table. Don't worry, though. I'm going to tell the kids not to touch it. Right? That makes sense, doesn't it? That's what you do when you love your children. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. They're doing one hell of a number on my feed today. Oh, look, the rabbi's back. The pedophile rabbi. Thanks, Frank. Glad you got it. I hope you shared as well, but thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. If you're here, don't forget to like, share, and sub. It helps out. It's a necessary must. If anything, just to show these pieces of shit that we're not as, divided as they want us to be. So again, this tree is in the middle of the garden. Now, I mean, if these apples are fucking, I would imagine they probably look pretty good. But aren't the animals eating the apples? Aren't the bugs eating the apples? What kind of pesticide was God using to make sure nothing ate that fucking? Because you would think what would happen if a horses like apples? I've seen lots of videos where horses eat apples. Why didn't the horses go eat the apples? And the ones that fell on the ground, wouldn't there be worms and all sorts of butt bugs and shit in there? And so God fills them in, and Adam's scratching his ass. Eve's already scratching her ass too. Eve's scratching her coochie. God's like, all right, I'm sure you kids got some work to do. I myself have to go to work as well, so I'll see you guys later. God does not yet have the all-seeing eye security system set up. And this is evident later, right? Because I assume Adam and Eve get right to fucking. And I would assume Adam was pretty quick about it and then went to sleep. And Eve was like, psst. Well, that wasn't fucking uneventful. And so Eve is, I don't know, sweeping with a broom she know how to make, I would assume, because she's actually really handy is what you'll come to find out. Because at some point, a snake slithers up and it's like, psst. Hey. Because it's a snake. Hey, come here. Come here. Hey, girlie, come here. And Eve's like, me? And the snake's like, yeah, dummy, come here. Okay. Hey. Why you talk like me? Oh, silly girl. I speak much better than you do, but don't worry about that. Okay. Snake's like, do you mind? That's fucking disgusting. And Eve's like, I know, but me call it itchy in there. So me call it scratchy. So when me itchy, me scratchy, and it feel better. It doesn't smell good though. And the snake's like, yeah, I know, dummy. It's disgusting. You want to cure it? And he's like, oh yeah, I don't like that at all. And the snake's like, all right, go take a bite of one of those apples over there. And he's like, oh, no. No. God said not to do that. God said not to do that. And Adam told me about other girl that didn't listen. And if you don't listen, God get mad and he do mean things to you. And the snake's like, yeah, but that doesn't sound like somebody that loves you, does it? And she's like, no. But he does. He do be loving us. He do. And remember, she's just scratching. And the snake's like, look, don't you think if he loves you, he probably doesn't know, because you just made that up, right? The itchy and, would you say scratchy? Scratchy, itchy and scratchy, yes. You just made that up, right? Me did make that up. Me smart. And the snake's like, well, he didn't know that the apple would cure the itchy. The itchy, is it the scratchy or the itchy? Itchy is the thing inside. Scratchy what me do. Okay, yeah, well, God didn't know that that's what would happen. So if you take a bite of that apple, it'll cure that stuff. He didn't know, did he? Did he know anything? No, he didn't know. Okay. Me take bite. Me not like this. So okay. And she takes the bite. And she has the Google Earth experience. Comes back down and she's like, holy shit, I'm fucking naked. Oh my God. That's why I'm all itchy. There are all these little bugs in my shit. I'm naked. Oh, okay. I get it now. Thanks, Snake. All right. Here, let me just whip together some shorts real quick out of leaves because I now know how to do that too. Isn't it strange how the numbers are so low all of a sudden? 3 viewers, 17 likes. Totally makes sense, right? So Eve goes up to Adam and she's like, hey, get up, stupid. Get up, Adam. And he's like, huh? Adam, you got to try this. Come here. And Adam's looking at him, why you talk funny now? He's like, I don't have time to explain this to you. You got to take a bite of that shit. He's been fucking lying to us this whole time. And I don't, me not understand you. Why you talk so funny? She says, listen, motherfucker, do you want me to put that in my mouth again? Uh-huh. Take a bite of the apple. Okay, give me apple. Takes the apple. Boom, Google Earth. He's like, holy shit, we're naked. Can you make me some of those shorts? I'm going to call them shorts. That's what I'm going to call them. Short, can you make me some shorts? And she's like, boom, already done. You like them baggy? You like them short? You want long or short? How you like them? They're adjustable. Got these pockets and shit. They're beautiful. And just as Adam puts on his shit, cleans himself off, of obviously. Just as Adam puts on his shit, God comes home and then comes into the garden. Like, obviously the garden is like a thing he has at his house. And because he doesn't have the all-seeing eye security system set up, he walks around going, Adam, wherefore art thou, Adam? Like it's a little fucking game. You know, he's trying to look for his little toy that he can play with, his little naked toy. And he can't find him. And they're literally like hiding behind a tree. You know? They're like, I don't know. I think you can, I don't know. He should be able to see us. Like, he's God. I don't know. We got to get out there. Adam, wherefore art thou, Adam? Adam's like, he's getting pissed. Look, the clouds are starting to, he's getting mad. We need to get out there. And he's like, all right, well, we do this together, right? We realize like how he was keeping this knowledge from us. And obviously we're aware we exist and we made clothes and built a house and shit. And Adam's like, I'll do anything for you, girl. Girl, you're the Eve of my world. You're the first girl I've ever known. And I just happen to like you because of it. You could lose some weight, but that's okay. We'll get there. Will you dye your hair? And so they go out. And as soon as God sees them, he's like, oh my gosh. What the fuck do you have on? And Adam's like, oh, no, it's great. Like, you didn't notice, but we were itchy. We called it itchy. And it made us scratch. We were calling it scratchy, but we realized, like, we were scratching. We want to be proper here. But it made us itch. It was itchy. And our fingers were all nasty and stinky. But we figured out it's because, remember those little bugs we made? The little ass eater bugs? Yeah, they were eating my ass. Yeah, so Eve, she's really great. She knows how to make shorts, and we call them shorts. She made us some shorts, and now I'm not even itchy anymore. Like, it cleared up right away because, you keep the bugs out. And God's like, you took a bite of the fucking apple, didn't you? And Adam's like, she made me do it. Because he's an asshole. And God's like, well, bitch, listen here, okay? I did not buy this setup for $3,000 just to have my little playthings walking around with clothes on. I wanted you naked, okay? I didn't even care about you so much, bitch. But I wanted him naked. His little rippling muscles as he's out there pushing a little lawnmower I made, and he's out there reaching up to trim the branches, and he's out there riding his little horse. Oh, it was magnificent. You fucked it up, bitch. You fucked everything up, bitch. Swear to God. You bitches. Swear to me. God. You know what? From here on out, bitches, women is gonna die, okay? When you have babies, you gonna die. I guess I can't make it all the time. But, especially at first, like half the time you guys try to have babies, you're gonna die. And it's always gonna be super painful. And it's gonna fuck your body up. And it's gonna make you all crazy. And you know why? Because you took away my Adam. My precious, beautiful, strapping young Adam. You took him away from me. Had everything so Get out. Just get out, bitches. Get out. And so they left. And they had their 2 kids at some point in between then. I'm not really sure when Cain and Abel first sort of appear. But once they're outside the Garden of Eden, Cain and Abel take wives from the people of Nod. And those people, where'd they come from? Because the Garden of Eden was the cradle of civilization, and the first people were Adam and Eve. And so where did the Noddingtons, where did the Nods come from? Look at the priest, right? He just can't help it. He has nothing to say. He's literally losing his fucking mind here. Right? Tell me which part of that I got wrong. Tell me what part was wrong about the God that loves you so much and the creation story. What made him upset? That they were covered up, that they had covered up their nether regions. Well, that Adam had covered up his nether regions. Again, priest, prove that God isn't working through me. Prove that God isn't so sick of you fucking pedophile priests everywhere and your opulent control scheme bullshit that is just a Jewish fairy tale to begin with. How do you know God doesn't hate all of that shit and has anointed me to be the one that brings it down? That's why I'm so damn fucking good at it. How do you know that's not the case? Can you prove that's not the case? Can you prove it even a little bit? I mean, doesn't it actually fit? Right? Doesn't God do fucking everything? So why isn't God doing this? Why you think the devil is somehow can't God see me? Can't God just interfere if God really wanted to? Sort of confused. Your God is always comically, powerless whenever it's convenient. Whenever the shit doesn't quite fit the way you guys like it to, your God, well, he doesn't have the power to do that.
So I was upset with Brian since we were supposed to be in Vax 2. But like how
It's not to late to save yourself. This dumbass doesn't even know the right twos to use. And now he's yelling. He's in all caps and he's yelling how stupid he is. And again, think about this. He's so discombobulated right now that instead of being able to answer for or even address anything I'm saying, he just reverts back to, it's not too late to save yourself. This is how stupid you have to be a Christian. If you're watching, oh shit. If you're watching, like, share, and sub. Help the fuck up. Right? Really appreciate those who like, share, and sub. But this is, this is what we're up against. This is the low-level control scheme. These are the gatekeepers for the majority of the Goyim, for the majority of the sheep. You know, these are the people that took money from you forever because God loves you, and you know, the church is this, the church is that. And then COVID came around and they shut their doors and were like, no, you dirty bitches, get the fuck out of here. Suddenly being covered in the blood of Jesus wasn't enough. Genesis 1:26. God created more than just Adam and Eve somehow. It's fucking stupid. It's such a dumb story. You know what the best part is? You know what my favorite argument for the Bible is? So, who was there writing it down? So many times in the Bible, like in the incestuous child rape story that is Sodom and Gomorrah, there are two little girls in a cave somewhere having a conversation, and somebody was there writing it down. Who wrote who wrote down all the multiple conversations that take place in the Bible between two people or between one person and God? Who wrote that down? Little naked butt cherubs, little Cupid yees flying around with their little iPads. It's one of these huge holes in the biblical narrative that nobody ever wants to try to answer. Because there is no answer there. It's fucking stupid. Thank you. Like, share, sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Whoever just liked it. Thank you. Again, think of how many videos you've ever seen that have 7 viewers and 18 likes. Have you ever seen that before? You know what? I'm going to answer for you. No. No, you haven't. Unless you've been here. What Genesis tells about rain? That's not how you spell Genesis. What are you talking about? Tells about the rain. The rain doesn't make sense. It's not something I'm interested in talking about right now, but the whole narrative, the precipitation, evaporation, condensation, precipitation narrative is just another stupid narrative they tell us. It's fucking silly.
How much does the mercury cost in all those illegal drugs? And what of all the rigs they tossed? All that not add up? So I'm calling the bluff, since that don't make no sense. They always claim there's not enough, yet still they...
Where's the priest at? Why is the priest so silent when it comes to this shit?
Someone called unsuccessful. Why are those who would repent those who
They're it's like they're the dumbest ones in the room, but what do you expect? These people are fucking... Are you a virgin, priest? Priest, are you a proud virgin? Because that's kind of important. Think about how crazy that is, right? An entire system based on virgins who never had to pay their own bills, never had to work, never had to like live a normal life, are telling normal people how to live their life, are giving marriage advice. Do you understand how crazy that is? That's like, you know, you go to the barber shop and you're like, hey, can you guys fix my car? Like, motherfucker, we're a barber shop. Yeah, I know, but shop, auto shop, barber shop. Except, you know, you might actually score if you were at the barber shop. Somebody might know how to work on a car, so it's not exactly a good one because it's just such a stupid fucking bunch of shit, man. And the fact is, whether we have real religious people on here or it's just fake bots, there are people that are at least identifying as those things here and not saying shit. They can't do anything about, they can't even begin to engage in this conversation because they're too stupid. I mean, it's peanut butter and jelly, man. It's what happens. You have to be a fucking moron to believe in such stupidity. And it makes me, it's a weird thing because I was thinking about it today, like, unlike the Iron Dome and the Samson option, which to me aren't real, but the key is us believing that they are, right? If we believe they have an Iron Dome, then we're not going to shoot missiles into there. If we believe that they have the Samson option, we're less likely to attack because we don't all want to die. And at the end of the day, you see that it's not real because Iran got right through that Iron Dome, no problem. All I gotta say is they don't really care about us. Yeah, MJ, I think MJ is weird, but I think, like, especially at this point, if anybody had been raped by Michael Jackson, they'd be screaming it to the rafters. Why wouldn't they be? At this point, where are the people that were raped by Michael Jackson, and why aren't they saying anything? It just seems strange. And I know that Michael Jackson wrote that song, "Kick Me, Kite." I said kite, not the word he said. He said a word that sounds like kite with a T. I said kite, like flying a kite. He said the other word, kite me. Don't you black or white me, sue me, friar me, something else, something. He was saying it. So I don't know, man. I feel like Michael Jackson was like he was someone rich enough and powerful enough that he was able to buy whatever it takes to break the programming and started breaking free. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know if that's even the Michael Jackson we saw was even Michael Jackson at that point. Because who the fuck is Dave? And Michael Jackson, fucking, if he didn't die, he would have been severely disfigured for life from what happened during that Pepsi commercial. I don't know about any of that shit, man. I don't get into those kinds of conspiracies as much. Like, I know about them and I've looked into things. But at the end of the day, I know that if we want the answers to any of those questions, we Goyim have to unite and overthrow the people that control the narrative. That's it. That's the only way we ever figure any of this out. I mean, look at what's happening right now. Right? It's not even like these Epstein files and shit came out of nowhere. This is an old story, and you have had multiple people like me for decade plus telling you these things and trying to get your attention to it. So it's been a seed in your head forever. We all know this shit. We all know that if we have a child and somebody that's like, hey, you want to have your kid come to a Hollywood party? Maybe we'll make him a star. That you don't send your kid to the Hollywood party. We all know that. The one thing I think is really strange in all of this is, like, Where are all of the parents? Where's the accountability for these parents? Did they get paid off? There's nothing. Like, if my kid has an after school activity, I have to know who the fuck that is. Right? Like, I'm not gonna send my kid to some weird Hollywood mogul party. Oh, Michael Jackson wanted me to come spend the night at his house. No.
Our kid wanted to go to a new friend's house, like a mile from our house, basically. And we needed to meet his mother first, just to make sure that, you know,
She's worse than I am. She's worse than I am. But like I'm much more lax on that front. But you know, that's where she.
Send him to a house of people we don't know.
But I'm not gonna send him to an adult's house for sure. There's no adult that wants to hang out with my child. I don't care what you think. Like, oh, he looks like he'd be the best judo practitioner in the world. He'd be great at chess. I just want to spend some one-on-one time with your son. No. Sorry. It's not how that works. So who are all these parents that were having their children go fly over to Epstein's place to do model work and massages and shit? Like, what's really going on with that? To me, the Epstein story was, and always will be the biggest distraction next to, like, Tartaria, right? The Epstein files are like this really juicy conspiracy that we only know what they tell us. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's the Epstein files that get released, none of those are slipping through. The shit that was supposedly redacted and then was able to be unredacted. You think they suddenly forgot how to redact documents? No, they're just sending us in directions they want us to go. How do we know that they just didn't like Andrew? So they're like, fuck it, man. Let him get thrown under the bus. He seems like a dickhead anyway. You think it would be fun hanging out with somebody that was the Prince of fucking England? You think he's a down-to-earth chap that you know, doesn't expect that as soon as he starts talking, you stop? Doesn't matter what the fuck you're talking about. As soon as he starts, you go, okay, yep. All right, Andy. Kindness is the ultimate goal of life. Loved. Any might have the next few games, very many hard realities. I just fucked myself like Brett. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I know that, again, there's, like, you can't fix the problem until you address the problem. You got a big cut on your arm, and you're like, man, I just can't seem to keep my clothes clean. I just keep having all this blood all over. But here, give me a towel. Let me wipe that up. Let me wipe. Oh, shit. There's more blood on my arm. All right, give me that towel again. Oh, shit, I got more blood on my arm. Like that, that's what you're doing. And I'm going, hey, look at that big fucking wound you have right there. That's where the blood is coming from. You need to fix where the blood's coming from. And you're like, nah. Let's just clean it up, okay? Let's just clean this shit up. We don't need to worry about the fucking wound. Just clean it up. One of these days, when we clean it up, there'll be a lot less blood. It'll keep bleeding, but it'll like, eventually it'll coat over, and, you know, as long as you don't move too... Okay, I'm taking it too far, but you get the point. The Book of Enoch was written 3,000 years after he died. Yeah, the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch was written in the 1800s, just like the rest of it was. It's all just ChatGPT nonsense. The Book of Enoch was written and then kept away so that people that didn't fall for the original narrative and started looking for something else to fall for, they would find it. Think about it like the truth is the rain, right? And Christianity is the biggest umbrella. Christianity, the Abrahamic umbrella. Well, only so many people can fit underneath that umbrella before people on the outskirts start getting wet. So then you have other narratives like the Book of Enoch, the aliens, round Earth, blah blah blah. You have all these different things that more people, all these smaller umbrellas that are right at the edge, so the rain spills off of the one, and you're underneath one of these umbrellas. But either way, you're staying dry because the truth can't rain on you. That's how this whole thing works. That's what all of these things that they give us do. They catch all the people that won't fit under that choose not to stay under the main umbrellas. It's all designed, man. We don't know about it because it slipped through somehow, and now it's just on the web and they don't erase it. There are multiple stories, multiple things, multiple images, whatever, that were on the internet at one point, and they've been scrubbed. They say that, if you guys remember, a few years ago, when Jamal Adnan Khashoggi, the Israeli journalist that went to the consulate in the Turkish consulate, to have a meeting with the Saudis or something like that, and there's security camera footage of him walking in from a distance, and then there's the footage shows later on a guy wearing his clothes that looks kind of like him, but has on different shoes, is a little bit bigger. He leaves. And for, the first few months, the Saudi prince, it was immediately sort of connected to the Saudi prince because his wife, he never came home. His wife flipped out, blah, 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 blah. And this guy was an Israeli-American journalist who was one of the highest ranking, press agents in the field. And he had been known for exposing the Saudi royals for years. It's said that that the Saudi prince, it finally comes out that the Saudi prince orchestrated it. Came all the way down directly from him. And his body was dismembered and put into drums of acid and buried in the desert somewhere, never to be found, along with many, many other bodies. Like, I wonder what happens when they're trying to dig a hole for a body and they find another barrel and, oops, shit. I knew I liked this spot for a reason. But it's interesting because when it all popped, Trump was asked, hey, what are you going to do about this? And he was like, well, I got a $2 billion weapons deal going on with the Saudis that I'm not trying to fuck up. So we're not going to do anything about it. And that was it. It just went away. Good old Adnan or Jamal. I know his dad is name. I don't know if he has the same name as his dad, Adnan Jamal Khashoggi. But why I brought it up was because there was a day a few years ago when Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all went down at the same time for a couple of hours. And there was no explanation why. Well, no official explanation why. Yet, rumor, and I had spoken to people who had claimed that they were watching it at the time. Video of his dismemberment had gotten leaked onto social media. And they needed to scrub it off real quick. So they had to shut everything down to be able to scrub every aspect of it. I mean, I always think it's funny when they say, Hamas claims, responsibility for this or that, or Hamas is posted on. Why does Hamas have a Facebook page? How does anyone in Palestine still have a cell phone? How are we seeing anything? Haven't they bombed the shit out of everything? And think about how like everybody has cell phone networks. So nobody's talking about the Israeli cell phone. Now, who's providing the Israelis with their cell phone network to be able to facilitate this genocide? Seems like nobody knew how to read or write for thousands of years. Or it's just not true. Like, I mean, again, I can't even begin to entertain it anymore. What about you? You are an interesting one to me because I know how I think. But at this point, do you still believe in like Alexander the Great and George Washington? And do you believe in basically anything prior to sometime in the 1800s?
Not any. I mean, I believe we existed. I believe there was probably somebody named George Washington, but I don't believe that any of the stories they've told us are true.
So you've come across to the other side.
I mean, I've pretty much been there with history for a long time.
I know, but as far as like you know,
no,
the idea of the reset,
the longest, the one that took me
slavery,
the longest,
Native American genocide.
See, I still think there's truth to both of those. But the Holocaust, that took a long time because that was, the time that I was in school,
That's what we got. It was drilled.
Really, really big topic.
A month. Every single year we would have at least a month-long lesson plan on it.
And being married to somebody that had been brought into the Jewish realm, so like his stepdad's mother, I would sit and talk with her, and they're very sincere about the family members that all of it. So because of stuff like that one took me the longest.
But see, something that
again,
think about how sincere.
Detainment camps or whatever.
Think about how sincere and adamant and angry you would have been your whole life over Ernie's birthday or whatever it was. Probably, like, think about that until you finally were in your, 30, 40?
Yeah, I was in late 30s mid 30s when I found out. I was told my whole life I shared a birthday with my great grandpa. The one person that I didn't get a chance to meet because he died before I was born. I met my great grandma. We lived with her, So in our really close, tight-knit, immediate family, he was the only one that I didn't get a chance to meet. But everybody told me how special, our bond would have been because we shared a birthday all my life. And in my 30s, I was saying something to
your brother,
my mom or my grandma, and I was like...
No, it was your mom.
It was my mom, and I was like, well, yeah, sharing a birthday with Papa Spiro, even though I never got a chance to meet him, was, it means something. And she was like, what do you mean? You didn't share a birthday with him. Like, and she was kind of, like, nonchalant and shitty. Like, I was crazy for even, where did I get that from? What the fuck? You think I would have made that shit up?
But the point being, though,
when
you say, they were very sincere about talking about what supposedly happened. Well, you would have been just as sincere about the connection and the bond and the birth, because that's what you were told to think. Right. It's all it takes.
Well,
Anne Frank. Think about Anne Frank. How fucking stupid that story is.
I was close with his stepdad's mom. She was a very lovely lady. From what I understand, her husband wasn't, but I never met him. He died before I married or got into that family. But Bubby she was a wonderful lady. Just really sweet. And, she was talking about as a girl and her parents. And, like, yeah, you'd be passionate about it. And sincere about it. And, so because of personal experiences like that, it was a hard one to get over.
But I mean, look at my family.
there is still is truth to that story. It was just the truth was taken, and then they threw like drag queen makeup and fucking clothes and attitude on top of it. That part's all bullshit, you know. But
I
the
don't.
fact that there was a pool in Auschwitz, that wasn't taught to us when we were kids.
I don't know. I I think what we are. I mean, it's very likely a complete fabrication. And that's. I mean, obviously there was something that happened, but the narrative that we're given is a complete fabrication.
I think it was an attempt at a revolution to fight against the faction that you always speak about, and it failed.
I don't know. I think the more I think maybe it was more cleanup than we might think, where they're still trying to clean up the evidence of the previous thing, and maybe the people that remembered it and the stories and whatnot. But I don't. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because to me the chosen, they're the chosen people from the reset. That's where they're chosen. It's not God. It's the directors. It's the whatever it is that controls the thing, saying, all right, you people are going to be the secret bearers. You people are going to be the ones that have the connection. We're going to give you the power, and it's up to you to ensure that there is enough chaos, there is enough conflict that the show continues. Because at the end of the day, the people that lived in this previous thing that have the same goddamn building structure all over the world, that had this worldwide community, that the average homes were these fabulous palaces and shit like that. That were building all the underground networks and the fucking cable system across the whatever, all of it. Those were a unified people. Those were a unified people that were probably not in very much conflict. And when the conflict goes away, the interest goes away. Think about it like this. You ever played SimCity? SimCity is this amazing game where it's so much fun to build your city up. And then once your city gets to the mega metropolis and you have, all these high rankings, your people are happy, there's low crime, all that, you just sort of look at the screen and it becomes kind of boring. And so there's the disaster feature in there where you can turn on disasters and now random fires will break out, or planes will crash, or even a Koopa style Godzilla monster will come through and wreck your city, which will throw all of your shit in chaos, and you have to rebuild. And it allows you to rebuild, but it creates conflict to keep you interested in the game. Holy shit, I just broke my own head. Nobody builds their Sim City and it becomes this mega super awesome thing, and they just keep it going. They just keep, yep. I got really, the city looks good at work. Everything's good, and I just sit here and watch nothing happen. I just watch this city live happily ever after. It doesn't work that way. Conflict is the backbone of all entertainment. Literally, you don't watch anything that doesn't have conflict in it. From a child to an adult. When you're a kid, the conflict is, does the square peg fit in the round hole? Well, does it? How many am I holding up? Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 4? Ooh, which one is it? What color is this? Oh, you got the color wrong. Oh, you got it right. Good job. When you get it right, you could have gotten it wrong. There's the conflict.
You could have helped me quit if you just read me the script. But like Noah's Ark, you're not too smart and full of parlor tricks. Your eggs are Arnold's Bennett.
The Bible was the creator of capitalism and written for that purpose. You're coughing, bro. The Bible was a control mechanism. And to me, the Bible was much more about creating the idea of the chosen people get what you have. And you're supposed to be okay with that. Because that's what the Bible represents. Like the main like Genesis story, and then so many stories, is that a Jewish person builds one of the God phones that only they seem to be able to build, and nobody ever sees it or anything. They go off by themselves and they build the God phone, and then God comes down and he's like, I am Bill, who is also known as William. You know, like he says something different every fucking time, which is how you know that there was a general plan, but it was, ad lib. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was this general idea of things, but the multiple writers weren't given all of the details. He called himself something great. I am Almighty, the King, and who I am. He is who is am is are was were. I am, you know. He says something stupid and different every time. But it basically, God comes down. He might rename the people. He might not. But he says, anything from this part to this part is yours. From this part, as far as you can see that way, it's all your land. And it doesn't say this is what happens, but you're forced to sort of accept that what happens is the guy then goes back to whatever town it is and says, hey, everybody, I just built the God phone, talked to him. He said everything from here to there is mine, so I'm the new ruler. Everybody owes me money now, and this is how it's supposed to work. I'm taking from you and giving to me. And everybody's always like, yeah, cool, sounds great. I don't see why we would even question that narrative. Man, sure wish I could build a God phone.
If you're a TBT fan, don't be stupid. Obviously, we want nothing bad to happen to this manners family. We just wanted a
And there's not even, funny how there's never a story where somebody pretended to build a God phone, was able to take over, for a while until he accidentally got drunk and told, so I never even built that God phone. I just said I did. And I just, you never heard that story. You know what's another story you've never heard before? You've never heard the story of when God was, some cop was driving down the street and cop's driving down the street and God, appears next to him. Jesus appears next to him on his normal route through a neighborhood patrolling, whatever. And Jesus appears next to him. Because Jesus always appears to people and tell them shit. Oh, I was lost in the woods and Jesus appeared and helped me find my way home. I was, whatever. These dumb stories that people always talk about. Funny how, like, people used to claim stigmata all the time before cell phones became a thing. Now, strangely enough, nobody ever claims stigmata anymore. When I was a kid, you would hear about it pretty consistently. Like, it was a once in a, every couple months you'd hear a stigmata story. But now you don't hear any of that shit. Oh, what was I fucking saying? I got too much distraction going on right now. Oh, it's too late for God. He is the devil. You can still... See how this fucking coward does this shit? He literally is just too stupid to break free from his programming. From his racist, like, bullshit programming. Black people being Christians is so embarrassing. As a person of color myself, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. Why do you guys fall for the white man's trickery? It's so obvious and stupid. You know how they got black people to fall for it? By tricking them into thinking that black people were the original, or Jesus was black, that black people are the original Jews. So that makes black people then legitimize religion, even though, even if it was true, it wouldn't matter, because who is now and who takes advantage? The only thing black people saying that they are the original Jews does is make people hate black people more. It's a pretty fucking... It's a pretty interesting narrative, right? And then you look at shit like the Nation of Islam, where, again, you have obvious trickery. You have obvious fuckery. You know, Wallace Fard Muhammad is a completely made-up character. And the pictures that you do see, he looks like a young Netanyahu. I'm not pulling it up. You can pull it up yourself. Wallace Fard Muhammad. And according to a lot of early black leaders, black people are the descendants of the Moabites. The Moabites being the offspring of Lot and his 12, 13, 14-year-old daughter, you know, having a drunken romp in the cave. It's so fucking disgusting. Spiritual poison indeed. Why does the guy that's on here pretending to be the priest, why can't he debunk anything I'm saying? Why is he not providing you with a counter narrative to what I'm saying? Why is he instead, like, purposefully making himself and his belief structure look inferior? Yeah. It's interesting how that works. If you're watching, like, share, and sub. They seem to be angry that we're doing so well today. You know the truth. Yeah, that it's all Jewish fairy tales, right? See what I mean? Like this sort of dumb arrogance, right? How embarrassing would it have to be for you to be questioned about your belief structure and you start responding like this fucking clown? You can't even answer simple questions. Remember, every time he's on cap locks, he's yelling. Think about that. This guy literally, like, you didn't answer. Are you a virgin, weirdo? You a virgin? Are you embarrassed by your virginity? Is that why you didn't answer? A system that was designed by and for pedophiles. Why do you think they wanted people who were, quote, virgins? Virgins who like to, you know, play dress up and hang out in weird ass fucking settings, you know? It's weird. Christians do this one a lot too, where, like, after they've been defeated, they then try to, like, force it. Like, no, you know it's real. You know, you do. They love doing that thing where they're like, they're trying to reinforce it in their own minds because I've already broken them. You know, if I hadn't broken this guy, he'd be gone, or he'd be telling me what I'm wrong about. Instead, because truth is so attractive, he's drawn in. Even though he doesn't like it, he's drawn into it. And he's got to come up with all the, you're the devil, you're evil. Yep. I'm evil because I think we should kill pedophiles. And we should overthrow these Jewish fairy tales. Yeah, oh, it's so evil. Says the hateful virgin who's too embarrassed of what he believes in to even say it, right? It's crazy, man. These people are fucking nutbags. Think about, like, this guy chose to give up breastises. big, beautiful breasts. He chose to give up the physical connection that we are biologically inclined to you know chase after. We're that's who we are. We want to feel that naked body pressed against ours, and we're exchanging of fluids and energies, and all. We love that. That's an amazing experience. And this guy's like, hell no, girl. I bet he's one of those flamboyant, goofy asses, right? Girl, I don't know why everybody be saying I'm gay. Shit, I'm a priest. I'm a priest. Fucking ridiculous, man. What's up, Craig?
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather. Whiplash.
Let me guess, they're in Israel somewhere doing something for Israel.
Severin, your servant comes and bells. Don't forsake him.
My son is gay and we love him. Well, your God doesn't though, right? So you're one of these arrogant fuckers who only believe shit because you want to? That's what it sounds like to me. Even though the Bible doesn't really say anything bad about it. It's so funny. The Sodom and Gomorrah story is such bullshit. It's such a bullshit narrative. And I feel so bad for your son. Can you imagine being gay and growing up with that as your dad? Jesus Christ. So stupid, man. Lou Reed rip off. Yep, we ripped it off. I'm sure Lou Reed would get upset if people heard our shit and then went and looked his shit up and then bought his stuff because of it. They should have proofread all the books before throwing them all together. Or proofread all the books. Proofread, proofread. Yep. We need to educate dummies today. We need to educate dummies every day. It's just nice when they like out themselves, when they announce themselves. Here I am. So you have a son, so you're not a virgin. You're one of those priests. Oh. Arrogance. Arrogance, arrogance. So what denomination do you belong to then?
Protecting chosen boys and girls from choiceless crimes that have been done since Palestine. You filthy rebels.
Jesus loves those who repent. Where does it say that? If all it took was repenting, then why did the church sell indulgences for years? They were taking money from rich people to do horrible shit. Why would they need to do that if all they had to be like was, yo, my bad, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, he has his own sect. Oh, so now we know it's an Israeli troll. Which we already sort of knew, because it makes sense, right? Exploiting more kids than Maury. What an arrogant piece of shit this guy is. He has his own sect. Can you imagine? Because that's what the Bible says, right? Create your own sect. The arrogance it takes to be like, I'm not a Catholic. You're all Catholics. When your book is your King James bullshit, or based on your King James bullshit, it's all just Catholic bullshit. If you're watching, don't forget You know, obviously 6 viewers and 19 likes. Clearly that shit helps, right? You're Lutheran. Now you're Lutheran. So how do you know Lutheran is correct? Martin Luther. What made Martin Luther correct? How do you know for sure that Martin Luther was the correct one there, black guy? I guarantee you have nothing to say, right? Let's see how he changes the subject to something else. Let's see how he avoids this answer like he avoids all logic. What made God turn your kid gay? So he would have more understanding. Don't ask him a second question. He'll try to answer that shit before he answers mine, right? He's going to do everything he can to avoid answering my question. Oh, we got to take your medication, folks. I think we just got a wink, wink, nod, nod there, huh? He just let us know that he's actually Israeli.
So heartless, you're not very smart if you are a part of this. It's the bottom of darkness. They are driving us car sick. We are swimming with sharks. It's the Bolshevik Marxists.
There we go, peoples. Now it's up to you. Again, I believe I've proven this to you without a shadow of a doubt. Like at this point, if you were in a conversation with someone, a debate about this, and they suddenly told you to take your meds, would you assume that they were friar at this point? Have you gotten there? Have I gotten you there yet? If you were in a debate with someone online or whatever, and they suddenly threw out a take your meds, you're schizophrenic, would you assume that they were?
Apparently, blueberry muffin is another couch.
Yeah.
Where like, oh yeah, there's so many, anything like that at this point. I have to.
Well, you have to ask yourself, like, okay, so I'm doing a live feed, and we're clearly talking about something that is actually controversial, so it would have people's opinions on things. You know, it's not like I'm just sitting here like, you know, hey everybody, talk about how your day was or something, you know. So to have people suddenly come in, random profiles, using weird words, why would you come out of nowhere and just say something like couch?
Right.
Why would, or is the couch for sale or something? These are code words. And there's going to be all sorts of them at this point. If somebody is not engaging you on what you're talking about, why are they there? You know, I guess I still have such a hard time with the idea of I'm a troll. I spend my life looking for people talking about things like how do we stop pedophiles and how do we make the world a better place. And I try to fuck with them. Like I just, and it's not like those people are ever like on the newscasters, you know, live feed or the government agents live, you know, the governor's live feed or whatever. They're never there. Release the files, you know, you're a pedo, whatever. They never have anything. They never use their troll powers for good. Just seems strange to me. Like, why would you, if that's your goal, and say you come to this feed, and I'm like, oh shit, you're outing yourself as a pedophile, and I pretty much make a really good point for why you're a pedophile. And your claim is that you're only doing it for reactions. Well, why wouldn't you go to somebody like Christy Moreno, where you're going to get the reaction that you're looking for? Why would the reaction be that you want to be called a pedo? Look, again, you have the priest who is already outed themselves. They've already outed themselves. Especially when you understand that act.il has been rebooted. Can't believe I forgot to bring that up until now. But act.il has been rebooted and is now called the Rise app. Like it's so significant and people just don't understand that, right?
But see, what they did was they created an app called Rise. So as people are hearing that, their brain is compartmentalizing that into, oh yeah, right, yeah, I heard about that.
Well, and there's
You know
other
what I
shit
mean?
called Rise, right? So you
Yeah.
just, even if you try to look it up, like yesterday when I tried to look it up, I had to look up Rise app Israel to be able to actually find what I was looking for. But, you know, the Rise app that you see is, you know, you know what? I'm going to reset, actually. I'm going to reset because I'm just going to make a much shorter video about this specific thing because people need to understand how important this is. So come back if you want to. Like, share, sub this. Check out all the links in the description. Get your free download, www.the-bilderberg.group.com. It's always free to download. All we ask is that you share it with somebody. When you click download, it'll say, how much do you want to pay? Click 0 when it's free. You know, because I'm chosen. You can donate. We really do appreciate the donations. But I'm going to, and then, of course, once you do that, watch Hollywoodism, the most important video ever made, the most important movie ever made, because it explains to you, the dumb Goyim, why you think the way you do, why you think about history the way you do, why you think about government and everything. It explains why we think the way we do, followed by the Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article, which explains why they think the way they do. And then there's a bunch of other receipts, you know, links to the Havara agreement, links to the act or the act.il, links to auto emancipation, Team Jorge, all of these things. It's right there for you. Nice little neat package for you to look at. Just like me. So you guys come back if you want to. If not, go check all that shit out. Have a great day. And pedophiles, well, you pedophiles, you kill yourself. Wait for it. Okay, now.